Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast, Kim's in Sweden. With me, Kim, I'm in Sweden. And if you are watching us, yes, that's right, I said watching us on YouTube, then you obviously know that this podcast is now available in video form on my YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this podcast, then let me tell you, this podcast, I'm now going to upload it to my YouTube channel as a video. So if you don't like listening to podcasts or you just want to watch a video instead of listening to the podcast, then that's an option for you as well. Yay! I can't believe it's taken me this long to think about doing that. I mean, people record their podcasts all the time and put it on YouTube, but for me, it took like 6 months to think of it? But here we are. So, a new podcast will be released on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, as well as on my YouTube channel every Monday. So, that's something to look forward to. So, how are you guys doing? Hope you're doing great. Let me just give you a quick update on what's happening in my life. I think that's what we'll talk about today because I really don't have a specific topic to talk about. I think a lot of people just like doing kind of like a little chit chat, catch up type of podcast. So that's what we'll do. So I think it's been 2 weeks. I didn't release a new podcast last Monday. Sorry about that, but I'm definitely going to try to keep up with releasing a new podcast every Monday because I know I have said that I'm going to do it and then I don't do it. So I don't want you guys to think I'm a liar. I just didn't get to it. But from now on, I'm definitely going to try to really stick to the Monday schedule. So within the last 2 weeks, last week I didn't start SFE, SFI, SFE. I don't even know how to say it because the I in Swedish is pronounced E. So for me, I would say SFI. In Sweden, they say SFE. So I'm going to say SFE. I went to register. So first I signed up to register and then there was like a 4-week waiting period to even go to register. So I finally went to register and the person I met with, she's not a teacher. She just kind of places you in whichever level she thinks you are best suited to. So the whole meeting took like less than 10 minutes and she asked if I could speak Swedish. And I told her my little Swedish that, hey, hur mår du, blah, blah, blah. And then from that, she said, you're definitely more advanced than the beginner level. But she said, can you spell and read in Swedish? And I can a bit, but I can't spell that well. And I really want to learn how to spell and read and write very well. So she said, we'll put you in level C, beginner plus. So there's 4 levels, A, B, C, and D, and then you're done with SFE. And then if you want to continue, you can go to like a Swedish course in a university or something like that. But as far as SFE goes, it only goes up to level D. So I'll start in level C. So I'll just have level C to complete and then level D. But the bad news is she said a spot probably won't open up in that level for about 2 months. So I have a bit of a waiting period. However, I will say this. Everywhere that I have went to register myself in Sweden, such as Skatteverket, I had to do 2 different things there, and they always say that it's going to take much longer than it actually takes. So for my person number, they said it could take up to like 5 months to receive my person number, and I got it in less than 2 months. And then they said my ID card would be ready in like 3 weeks, I think. And it was ready in like a week and a half. So I do think they kind of overestimate how long things are going to take just so you don't call them and say like, hi, you said it was going to be 2 weeks and now it's been 3 weeks. So they give you a longer waiting time and then it usually takes less time. So that's what I'm hoping for SFE as well. That she said 2 months, but maybe a spot will open up sooner. We will see. But in the meantime, I'm watching shows with Swedish subtitles and yeah, I'll keep practicing my Swedish in the meantime until that starts because I am realizing just how important it is to be able to speak Swedish. I know it sounds stupid. I'm living in Sweden. I should be able to speak Swedish, but as far as like advancing my life here, I really have to learn Swedish if I want to go to school, if I want to get a job. I have to learn it. So I'm really like, I feel this kind of anxiety in me, um, that I don't know Swedish and that I just have to learn it. So I will try to do my best to learn some new things in the meantime while I'm waiting to go to SFE. And then once I start SFE, I'll start maybe feeling more comfortable speaking Swedish, because I do understand a lot, but I get nervous speaking it, so I don't speak it a lot. And that's really hindering my learning, because when I'm out and about, I just speak English. And I should speak Swedish because I can definitely, go about the daily life, ordering coffee, going to shops, speaking with strangers, stuff like that in Swedish. Oh gosh, when you talk so much, your voice gets so hoarse. I don't know how people on podcasts talk like for so long without getting hoarse. I don't know, is it just me? Also, side note, it's surprisingly hard to talk by yourself for such a long period of time. I wish I shouldn't say I wish. I will start having some guests on the podcast so that we can do some back and forth chit chat as well. So it's not just me talking the whole time, because it can get a little difficult to just continue a conversation by yourself. Sometimes it's really nice to just talk whatever you want to talk about, but sometimes you're like, okay, I wish someone else was here so we could like advance this conversation a little bit. So yeah, I'll think of having some guests on the podcast. And what else can I tell you? I went to Dalby Stenbrot last week. Yeah, last Thursday, I think. And it was beautiful. If you are listening and you don't know what it is it natural? I don't think it's natural actually, but it's a water formation. It's kind of like a lake in the middle of cliffs. And I'm saying I don't think it's natural because one of my followers on Instagram commented that if you dive to the bottom of the lake, you can see you can see the old machines that they use to dig out the lake. So because of that, I'm assuming it's not a natural formation, but it's really nice and it's surrounded by a small forest. You could swim in the water. The water is fresh water, which is really nice because everywhere that I've been this past summer has been an ocean, so it's been really salty, so you feel like sticky and stuff when you get out. So it's really refreshing actually to swim in fresh water. And I live in Malmo now and I really like it, but I am also kind of missing the nature. So it was nice to get out of the city and go to somewhere really quiet and really relaxing for the day. It was really nice. If you haven't been there, I definitely recommend it. And going on to the next topic, I have been feeling a bit homesick lately. I think the initial like excitement of moving and everything has kind of worn off. It's been 4 months now, and now I'm in that phase of like, okay, but what do I do next? Because I moved here, I got settled in, I got my person number, okay, I got my ID card, okay, now what? Now you still don't know Swedish. We gotta learn Swedish, and then what's the next step? So I'm feeling like in this kind of purgatory stage right now, where I'm just kind of like, what's happening in my life? Have I really moved to a new country, starting my life over at 31 years old? So I think it's easy to just revert back to like, oh, but in the US, I could have done this, I could have done this, because it's like you automatically think of the easiest way to do things, and that would be the easiest way to do things is just to be in the country that I'm familiar with, that I grew up with, that I speak the language. So my brain goes towards that so many times, so often, and then when I speak to my family, I'm like, oh, I miss them, what am I doing? But I think I just have to get past this like this next stage, and then once I learn Swedish, I think I'll feel a lot better as well. And once I meet people, I think I'll feel a lot better as well. Speaking of meeting people, if anyone is listening and you are a female who lives in or around Malmo, I'm going to I am planning a meetup group in Folkets Park. I'm thinking Folkets Park. I just have to see if there's a covered area because we all know we can't rely on the Swedish weather. So if I pick a day where it's gonna rain, I want to make sure that we can still meet and not all be soaking wet. But I had posted a video a few weeks ago about how hard it is to make friends in Sweden, and a lot of ladies reached out to me around here and said that they would love to grab a coffee or a drink sometime. And that made me think, if I'm feeling like that and a lot of people are reaching out, then a lot of people probably feel like that. So I thought, why not all meet up together and get to know each other and play some games and just hang out, and we can see if some new friendships form, and it would just be a fun thing to do. So, as I said, if you're a lady in or near Malmo, as long as you can make it to the event, you are very welcome to join. You don't have to live here, but it's going to be tentative date September 17th. It's a Saturday. I'm thinking from 1 in the afternoon until 4. But hey, if we're having a blast, then it can go later. But I think 3 hours is good. We'll play some icebreaker games and get to know each other, and everybody can bring something to drink and a snack to share. And yeah, we'll just meet up and meet each other and see how it goes. So I think that'll be really fun, but definitely stay tuned for more information about it. I'm just finalizing details. I have to go to Folkets Park, as I said, and see if they have a covered area. I should do that today because it is so nice out. It's 70 and sunny and just a beautiful, beautiful day. So it would be a nice day to walk around Folkets Park and look for a spot. So maybe I'll do that after this. But right now I'm just keeping it to ladies because, we all need some female friends. And as a lady, I would just like to meet some other ladies. And I feel like a lot of ladies feel like that. So maybe one day we'll open it to like a general meetup event for everybody. But for right now, we are just keeping it to the ladies. So yeah, what else can I tell you? It's crazy. I ordered something from Amazon the other day, and it made me remember that my mom's shipped me a package like, June? In June? It is now September, and the package still hasn't arrived. I think I mentioned this in another podcast. You're probably like, oh my God, is she still talking about that package? Yes, I am. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to that. I guess I'll never get it. But during COVID, a letter took about 3 or 4 months to arrive here also. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's just like taking its sweet, sweet time. But what am I doing next week? Next week I have an appointment at the doctor's because I'm having a lot of pain in my low back. And I've had it for a while, but lately it's just getting so severe. Oh, my voice is getting so severe. And we went for a walk this morning and I couldn't walk for more than like 10 minutes without having to bend down and like stretch it and crack it. So I'm going to go see what that's all about. But I think the healthcare system, like how it's set up here, wow, it's so easy. Like coming from the US, how complicated it is to find a doctor and everything here. Wow. So I just registered at the local Vårdcentralen, the local hospital, and then I called for an appointment. The nurse was super friendly, and she said, you should go to a physiotherapist instead of a regular doctor. And then they got me an appointment for next week. Like that, just so easy. In the US, you have to like check with your insurance company which doctors are covered in your area, and then see how much the co-pays are, how much you'll have to pay at that doctor's office, and see where the cheap one is. It's like such a process. And here you just register, you call, and they make you an appointment. I was like, wow. Very, very awesome. But yeah, that was really good. So guys, my mind is kind of drawing a blank right now. I probably should have like written down some notes to talk about, but my mind is drawing a blank. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye for this podcast. keep it to about 15 minutes. And I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube if you're not already watching on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and please leave me a comment. And yeah, if you have topics, just either message me on Instagram or leave them below this video, and we can talk about them in upcoming episodes. So thank you so much for watching. For watching or listening, and I will catch you guys in the next podcast. See ya!